revolution in Venezuela. So what they did was Venezuela, there used to be big industry, GMO industries from America.
Yeah.
They'll go and rent the space, would grow nothing, and Venezuela people, farmers were getting bankrupt because they didn't have land, they didn't have a way to grow their own food. So the big company will only grow and they will import it to America and it'll get coming back to Venezuela three times the price because they contracted these farmers. So finally, one guy, I forgot who it was, but somebody who ran for elections, he made a rule. If the land lays empty for more than 6 months, you have to have the farmer grow wherever they want, whatever they want.
Yeah.
So they even in the middle of the road they started growing and stuff. And they created Venezuela Food Revolution. You should watch it. It's like a very beautiful movie. So then they created fair market, so first to be sold by farmers to their local people and only afterwards they export.
Yeah.
And that way the price of the food came down and they all were thriving. They were all like, so one of the things I learned indirectly is grow your own food. The only way to be poverty free is grow your own food. Don't be dependent on the government for money and get things done by becoming your own business.
Yeah.
So you work for yourself, grow your own food, and you'll be the richest person in the world. Because I think what we are doing is go to work for somebody else. And you are putting gas in, feeding yourself, stressing yourself, paying tax on it. And in the end, you're ending up with a rotten health.
Yeah.
So you're running a slavery business that's run by government, right? But instead, if you do it, food revolution, I found, it worked better. That's why, I'm hoping cannabis industry would really revolutionize us. So understanding that we can go beyond food. And I think, that is one thing. And about what about health we were talking. And I understand what you're saying. You don't want to watch it. But the problem is we are at a place, we are not saying, oh, it's toxic. It is like percentage, how toxic are
you? Yeah. How bad is it?
Yeah. So the thing is, it is, the SHIT has shit, it really, it's like hit the wall. So now our DNA is shifting. We are an animal. We don't even know who we are anymore. The human beings are gone. People are so swung by mood swings. The road rash. Did you see that girl killed somebody who pulled in front of her?
Yeah.
People have guns. People are
Crazy.
living out their idea, which is not even normal anymore.
Yeah.
And it's like I think we are hitting a place where we really need to see what's our goal as a human being. What do we want to achieve? I feel it's not like not able to take sides anymore. You know. So one of the interesting thing I came across, I don't know whether it's going to help you, is in India there was a big war. The war was fought between a generation old consumer type of people who lived out very, very long. Let's assume baby boomers, right? And there was another group, these are youngsters who were denied even home from these people. So they were initially they are starting out with five brothers and they have support system, two more, so seven people. Okay, they're saying, okay, we don't want a kingdom, just give us five houses. That was refused. Give us one house. Even that one house, they give them a mirage, like built with mirrors, and it disappears. So essentially, they were asked to go to the forest to live it out. And even there, they were denied rights. So finally, they say, I'm going to put a stop to it. And so they approach and they decide to have a big war. That's what Mahabharata is about. Like a big war that was fought between generations of teachers who taught all the right and wrong and these seven kids.
Yeah.
Okay. So one of the authority of that the one guy, he was a ruler himself, and the top guy of this 100 brothers comes to ask for help, and the five brothers top guy come to ask for help. This guy being he was in little bit favor of the five kids, he was their friends. So he pretends to be sleeping, So the big brother, who is very egoistic, he goes and sits on top of the head, meaning near the head, because you don't want to be near the feet,
Yeah.
humbleness. So the other guy goes and sits near the feet. So this guy, I'm sure he is a mastermind. So he conveniently looks at the feet first. So he says, "Oh, I put my eyes on you first. Oh, you are also sitting here." So he's pretentious. So he
Yeah.
says, "Okay, I'll give you the first gift." He said, "All my kingdom, my wealth, everything, I'll give it here." And he looks at and one guy would get just me, my skills and other stuff. One guy will get all my property. Decide between you guys.
Yeah.
So that guy, the guy who is his best friend, he says, "I don't care about your property. I would rather you hang out with us and fight our battle." Kind of what we decide, right, with
Yeah.
family. So the brother says, "Oh, I don't need you anyway." The 100th brother, he says, "I would rather have your equipment because you're not of value to me without your guns,
Yeah.
so to speak, right?" So, but the guy who is smart, the mastermind, his name is Avatar Krishna. He makes one rule for the whole country. He says, that's where we are hitting. That's the reason I'm bringing it up.
Yeah.
He says we are at a space you cannot be neutral anymore. He says you either be on this side or this side. You cannot go on anymore because the world cannot afford people not to take sides anymore. So there was one king who was smart enough. He says, "You know what? I truly do not want to take sides, but to be fair, I will feed both of them." So that's a space I am hitting seriously.
Yeah.
I feel I'm taking a place. I cannot take sides this side because I'm on the bad guy side. Because actually, there was a homeopath who came from India. He hates Western doctors. Hates. Literally. People think Western doctors are the most evil thing in the world.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, I hold the category. And then
Yeah.
when I go to the cannabis clinic, they hate addicts. Seriously, they told me they don't want to have anything to do with me because I treat addicts.
Yeah.
So I said, okay, I'm the bad category there. And then I go to the Suboxone. They hate, like Dr. Joe, he hates cannabis.
Yeah.
He cannot tolerate that I even associate myself. So I cannot do in his space
Yeah.
cannabis.
Yeah.
My husband hates both, and he hates mental health. So,
Oh my God.
so there are haters. So I fit in all category.
Yeah.
I treat people, and when I went to India, he said people who eat meat are demons. I fit that category. I'm like saying all all
Check
the
off every box.
I'm like saying I'm tripping everybody who needs to be trimmed. If I don't offend you, it's a surprise.
Yeah, yeah.
So
At least you're
So-
consistent, right?
but I know. So, but one thing I decided is after I heard that story, I said, okay, now I can be the food guy, right? So it made it easier for me to see, even in ancient times,
Yeah.
we had the same
Same
conflict,
problem.
and that's when the world gets wiped out, and we begin together.
Rebuild.
So I think the one thing it's coming back to is food. Food is medicine, and I feel we have all the wisdom in the world to create food as medicine. Today, actually, I made a little because I'm on a liquid diet for next 11 days, and then it'll be 1 day break. And interestingly, the less I eat, I have more energy. And so this is like cilantro, celery tops,
Yeah.
Thai pepper, ginger, um, and then I put cloves of garlic, and then tamarind.
So like
So
a detox thing?
no, because
sounds
what
good.
happens is when you're on a liquid diet to keep it's fun to have something, right?
Yeah.
So in between you just
Gives
need
you
like
a
a
little
pinch of it.
Texture.
Texture, and also it feels like having a candy
Like
in between, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
And also because celery has magnesium, cilantro has a detoxifying property of kidneys,
Yeah.
magnesium detoxifies liver, Thai pepper is analgesic and anti-inflammatory. Ginger actually normalizes mood swings by regulating hormone in the brain. Clove of garlic is very good for heart. And then, what is the sixth ingredient I said?
So we talk.
celery. Yeah, celery is magnesium. So it widens, not regulates blood pressure,
Yeah.
liver, and I think, oh, tamarind.
Tamarind.
Tamarind is alkalinizer.
Yeah.
So when you combine this, it is homeopathic wise, it regulates it too. So when I went to meet this doctor, Dr. Rajan, his name is Dr. Rajan, he came from India, his name is Shankar Rajan in Canada. I asked him, hey, is there any way I can work with you? I really love homeopathy. He says, I have nothing to do with you. He says, I don't want any Western doctor. I'm very happy and I don't think you can contribute nothing to me. He walked away.
That's pretty good.
But he actually was honest. Like, he was not, but he was very respectful too. But what he says is he truly cannot afford to associate with West because he said he'll get sued. I could see what he was saying.
Yeah.
So I went to
It's his
India.
reputation. It's on the line.
I went to India to my teacher. Everything I represent, he cannot tolerate. He cannot tolerate, me giving up my identification of the Indian, not wearing like the stuff, not doing the ritualistic stuff. He didn't say it that way, but he says I cannot represent him when I'm doing everything he teaches not to do.
Yeah.
So then I was feeling, oh my God, what can I do? I said, can I hold a place for you? I said, can you be a retreat center? So he says, I'm going to figure out how to fit you in. He says, because he kind of could see how I would. So I did the Positive Anonymous 12-step program. So I actually applied. I think I had that book I showed you.
Yeah, it should.
So I told him, can I do the Positive Anonymous? So he kind of accepted me that way. But then since then I came across the food part. And now I say, you know what? I'm going to stick to this liquid diet, liquid detox, know how to do he call it the liquid based diet, takes away the animal tendency. He says, whenever you crunch, that's when you create that animal feeling. So he says, by doing that, we can create the energy body because he says pure consciousness gives us energy. That's why people go very manic in full moon.
Yeah.
So he says, by nature, we have energy. What we are using is false knowledge from the world to say we need sleep, we need food. And he says that's what bogs us down. So people pretend you need breakfast as soon as you wake up. And he says that's a lie.
Yeah.
You eat only when you're hungry.
Yeah.
You don't let the body get used to another routine.
That's how I do it.
So that's where I am at. Food to be my battlefield.